Amidst the growing India versus China rivalry in the Indian Ocean region, Maldives is now attempting to reset and revive defense ties with India, months after pro-China President Muizzu assumed office on the plank of his India Out campaign. In a significant move to mend strained relations, New Delhi and Male held defense talks for the first time after India withdrew its uniformed military personnel from the island nation earlier this year. The fifth Defense Cooperation Dialogue was led by Defense Secretary Giridhar Armane from the Indian delegation, while Maldivian delegation was headed by Chief of the Maldives National Defense Force, General Ibrahim Hilmi. Later, the Ministry of Defense termed the talks as productive and emphasized that the talks laid grounds to enhance mutual interests and lead to stability in the entire Indian Ocean region by strengthening cooperation in maritime security domain. An official statement released by the Ministry of Defense said, quote, "The meeting provided both sides with an opportunity to discuss the matters related to bilateral defense cooperation. This, inter alia, included expediting the implementation of various ongoing defense cooperation projects." Remember, Maldives had signed the defense agreement with China after the withdrawal of Indian troops. But is Muizzu re-evaluating his options and re-entering a military alliance with India? Top military officials from New Delhi and Male focused on expediting the implementation of ongoing defense projects as well as boosting regional security, as well as enhancing bilateral training opportunities. Both sides also discussed the aspects of participation in forthcoming bilateral military exercises, along with few high-level exchanges and capacity development projects. The re-engagement in talks between India and Maldives was aimed at rebuilding military ties that have been historically robust but have recently come under strain. But why is Maldives looking to reset relations with India? With rising debt and external dependencies, Male is facing staggering economic crisis and is struggling to stay afloat. A crisis long in the making includes potential default on its $500 million sukuk debt. As of March 2024, the Maldives had a staggering debt-to-GDP ratio of 110%, indicating a current account deficit. The foreign exchange reserves are also in no good position. They fell to $492 million from $748 million just a year ago. As a result, the Maldives has sought help from both China and India for debt restructuring, and China has offered a grant of $130 million to the Maldives. India also offered $91 million in assistance to the Maldives last year and another $47 million in assistance this year. This means that Maldives cannot afford to lose India as its strategic partner, and it needs its assistance more than ever before. As the Indian government is concerned, it is also on the same page regarding renewing ties with the island nation of Maldives. Amid growing Chinese aggression in the form of surveillance crafts and naval vessel forays into the Indian Ocean region, New Delhi is actively prioritizing diplomatic and strategic visits with neighboring nations. India is adapting to the changes by focusing on diplomatic engagement, economic cooperation, and security collaboration with the Maldives. The recent engagement between military officials comes exactly a month after Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar met with Maldivian President Muizzu on the 10th of August. Touting the archipelago nation as not an ordinary neighbor to India, Jaishankar said India gives extra attention to the countries of the Indian Ocean. He went on to call the Maldives the cornerstone of India's neighborhood-first policy, as well as part of India's commitment to the global south. Jaishankar posted on platform X, quote, "Privileged to call on President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu, conveyed greetings of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, committed to deepen India-Maldives ties for the benefit of our people and the region," unquote. On the other hand, Maldivian President Muizzu stated, quote, "India has always been one of the closest allies and invaluable partners, facilitating and providing aid whenever the Maldives has needed it," unquote. The leaders signed a historic Memorandum of Understanding on the introduction of the Unified Payments Interface or UPI, expected to aid tourism in the Indian Ocean nation. Remember, in January this year, Maldivian ministers crossed the red line by offending a country and prime minister from where the majority of its tourists belong. The island country left no room for diplomatic maneuver. The three Maldivian junior ministers aimed personal insults at Indian Prime Minister Modi. Coincidentally, the row with India came at the same time Maldivian President Muizzu was visiting China to meet his counterpart Xi Jinping. But do the recent defense talks imply that India is attempting to keep China at bay in the Maldives? China's strategy of signing infrastructure deals with the Maldives is part of its master plan to diplomatically isolate India and drown Mali in a debt trap just like Sri Lanka. Maldives is a pivotal part of China's string of pearls strategy, which involves enhancing its influence through a network of naval bases and commercial ports encircling vital maritime trade routes around India. Concerns over the possibility of Beijing opening a maritime front against India by building a naval base in the Maldives are growing each day. India cannot let that happen, and normalizing relations with the Maldives seems to be the strategic course of action. But the big question remains, can India trust Muizzu? Leave a comment with your opinion and remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons.